Alright, the year is 2004. And here's a few heavy albums I'm going to talk about. First up, we got Exodus with the album Tempo of the Damned, album number 6 on Nuclear Blast Records. And this is the first album Exodus put out with a writing credit by original guitarist Kirk Hammett, long before he joined Metallica. The album was released 2 years to the day after original vocalist Paul Bailoff's passing. The lineup of this album will be Steve Zetro D'Souza on vocals, Gary Holt and Rick Hunolt on guitars, Jack Gibson on bass. This will be his first time on a studio album by the band, and original drummer Tom Hunting. The album also features a bonus track, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC, as well as a couple demo versions of the songs of the album. My go-to tracks would be, yes, The Impaler, the one co-written by Kirk Hammett and Paul Bailoff, and one of the riffs in the song is the main riff to the Metallica song, Trapped Under Ice. My other go-to tracks would be Scar, Spangled Banner, War Is My Shepherd, Blacklist, and Shroud of Urine. I mean, the whole fucking album's great, but I mean, those are my top picks. And out of the band's back catalog, this is probably one of my top favorites, behind Bonded by Blood, of course. And I'm talking about an album that I can listen to all the way through, because some of the older Exodus albums are fucking great and all, but sometimes I gotta skip a song here. I've made attempts to purchase the CD, but it's been a pain in the ass on the fucking label's website, Nuclear Blast. I'm gonna try again. It was out of stock, but it didn't really say it was. One of those little fucking bugs. But anyway, I need to get me a copy of this. Or, if someone has an extra copy they want to sell, hit me up in the comments or find my contact info. Second one here, I'm gonna go into the obscure. The band is called Valium Knob, and it's spelled Valume space N-O-B. Anyway, the EP is called The Most High. It is one of those super groups New Orleans is known for. In the lineup would be Marshall Black, aka Mark Bragnac, from Graveyard Rodeo on vocals, Kirk Winstein, Crowbar, Down, and a bunch of fucking bands. This time he's just playing bass. You got drummer Sid Mons, who played in Crowbar and a few other bands, and you got guitarist Frey Thieler. Sid Mons and Mark Bragnac were also in a band called New Religion, a hardcore punk kind of thrash crossover band back in the 80s. This EP was released on Crash, formerly known as Pavement Music. There is a video for the song, Boobs, if you could find it. But anyway, the style of this music's similar to Graveyard Rodeo. Stuff like Carnivore, Agnostic Front, you know, the old hardcore shit with sludgy guitars. And sadly, this band was short-lived. They only put out like an EP before this called Precursor to Devastation, and then a full-length album in 2005 called Residue and Bones, which was self-released, really hard to get. Thankfully, I have a copy of all these, but I do highly recommend this if you can find it still. And now we got Probot, self-titled album on Southern Lord Records. This would be the only album released under this name, with Dave Grohl at the helm on most instruments and a variety of frontmen. Yeah, each song features a vocalist from a legendary band, such as Lemmy from Motorhead, Max Cavalera of Sepultura Soulfly Nailbomb, Mike Dean of Corrosion to Conformity, Kurt Breck of DRI, Wino of The Obsessed and St. Vitus, etc., Snake of Voivod, Eric Wagner, formerly of Trouble, fucking King Diamond, Jack Black from Tenacious D, and many others. Dave Grohl provides most of the guitar, all the drums, and most of the bass, but Lemmy provides his own. There is a video for the song Shake Your Blood featuring Lemmy, and Wino's in the video playing guitar, even though he wasn't on the song. Kim Tail of Soundgarden even provides a couple guitar parts on the record as well. Probot's only played one live performance for Headbangers Ball. It was the song My Tortured Soul featuring Eric Wagner on vocals. And you can actually pick it up on one of the Headbangers Ball CD compilations. And Foo Fighters performed the song Shake Your Blood with Lemmy as a guest. And speaking of Lemmy and Motorhead, we got the album Inferno, which is album number 17. The album's got a rather heavy song catalog. Songs like The Terminal Show, In the Name of Tragedy, Life's a Bitch, even though that one's a little more bluesy, Fight, and In the Year of the Wolf. Smile Like a Killer's pretty cool too. And there's another song, it's kind of acoustic blues, called Whorehouse Blues. Features all three members playing acoustic guitar. Lemmy's even playing the harmonica. Steve Vai plays lead guitar on 2 tracks on the album as well. Up next we got Anthrax, The Greater of Two Evils. This is a special live in a studio. 14 tracks of re-recordings of songs from the first 5 albums. And this album features John Bush on vocals, where you can hear him singing tracks originally sang by Neil Turbin and Joey Belladonna. And of course, the Japanese edition has 3 bonus tracks. You know how that goes. My favorites are the re-recordings of Keep It in the Family, I Am the Law, Madhouse, Indians, Ifilnikifisin, NFL, Lone Justice, and In My World. This is definitely a CD you want to get if you're a diehard Anthrax fan, especially the John Bush era, but it's cool hearing him cover the songs from the early part of the band. Last but not least, we got the goddamn Godfather himself, Dio, with the album Master of the Moon, album number 10 on Sanctuary Records. And sadly, this is the final album by Dio. Craig Goldie came back on guitar for this album, who also performed on the Dream Eagle and Magica albums. The lineup also features bassist Jeff Pilson, drummer Simon Wright, and keyboardist Scott Warren. I really wish I could have seen Dio on tour with Anthrax and Fireball Ministry opening. One of my old bands opened up for Fireball Ministry, and that band is fucking awesome. Anyway, this is one's about Dio, by the way. During the tour, Jeff Pilson was unavailable, so Rudy Sarzo filled in on bass for him. And like every album he puts out, they're all fucking killer, no goddamn filler. But my go-to tracks is One for the Road, Master of the Moon, End of the World, Shivers, Living the Lie, I Am, The Eyes, and the bonus track on the Japanese edition called The Prisoner of Paradise. Killer fucking final record by Dio. And yeah, I know he did the Heaven and Hell Black Sabbath reunion album after this sometime, but it just felt like we needed more from this guy, you know what I'm saying? Up next, we got a compilation album called High Volume, The Stoner Rock Collection. This is put out by High Times Records. This compilation album features a lot of exclusive tracks by bands like Corrosion to Conformity, Unita with John Garcia of Caius, The Hidden Hand with Wino, The Mystic Crew of Clearlight with Jimmy Bauer from Down on guitar, High on Fire, Suplex, Clutch, Orange Goblin, Nebula, Gas Giant, and others. I remember when this was coming out, I was hoping they would have like more volumes for this, but it never happened. But for me, what was really cool is hearing a demo of Corrosion to Conformity with session drummer Merritt Partridge. I even heard they recorded a shit ton of songs with him. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap this motherfucker up. Short and sweet, all that good shit. Thank you for checking out Main Street Journal. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Check out all the social links in the comments, and if you don't despise my shit, make a donation with the PayPal link. Oh, and also, tpublic.com carries Mean Street Wear for all your offensive apparel needs.